beautiful people? This is Nadir.
It's Kev.
It's Jay.
All right. We are Games Music Life. This is the Games Music Life Death Stranding 2 Spoilercast. So we've been waiting to have this conversation. We had to get Jay on board with us today. Our brother came back to record with us today, and we had to wait for the new dad, Kev, to finish the game. So now that he has finished the game, we can actually talk about it and have a proper spoiler cast. There's no way I was going to have this conversation with just Jay and not have Kev here, because I do have a little bit of smoke for Kev with the fact that he's the Kojima fanboy. But I have to at least talk through it, and we can just see. I'm going to start here. First of all, how did everybody feel about the game now that we finished it? I'll let y'all go.
I'll let you have it first, Jay. Yeah.
I mean, you know kind of what you're going to get from Kojima. You're going to get a grand epic. You're going to get a lot of lore. You're going to get the walking sim. You know, for the folks that complained of not a lot of action, he threw that in. We know that he's a master when it comes to stealth action and gunplay and close quarter combat and things like that. So he adds that in. Yeah, you're going to get a movie/game.
Okay. How about you,
I agree, man. Like, listen, bro, it's probably the best game I played since Red Dead Redemption 2. If I'm being all the way honest, yeah, probably the best game I played since then, man. Like, I can't think of anything off the top of my head that has really even come close, man. Like, Death Stranding 1 was fire. I at least enjoyed it, but I understood a lot of the detractors for what the game was, and I mean, this was literally the refinement that game needed to kind of bring more players into the game. Like, it's a masterpiece, man. Like, this is a perfect game.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pure cinema, man.
So I know you did. I know you didn't finish Expedition 33. So is it safe to say this is your game of the year?
Easily.
So far.
Easily. I mean, like, listen, Expedition 33, I thought was a great game for what it was. I don't like turn-based combat outside of like Pokemon games. And this game got me into it. Like, they did a great job implementing that system to where I think that people who might not have been fans of that style of game, it would bring them in. And, you know, they had great storytelling. The art direction was great in the game. You know, soundtrack was really good too. But it was just like, yo, come on. Death Stranding 2 did all of that just on a higher level. Just, you know what I'm saying? Just bigger, just better, just broader. I mean, soundtrack, it's not close. Come on. I'm
gonna give you the floor. I'll let you go first.
Soundtrack between the two games, it's not close, man. You know what I'm saying? The story that they were both trying to tell, again, it's like, yo, Expedition 33, you know what I'm saying? They did all right, but you know what I mean? Like, it ain't there, man. It ain't this level of storytelling. Now, I will say, with Kojima games, I mean, I guess, be it that I've been playing them since the 90s, you know what I'm saying? Like, I already know, like, the story can get a little convoluted. You have to come in and expect that. And, you know what I mean? There's going to be a lot of comic relief in there. Like, there's just a lot of parts of the story where it just gets silly. And, I mean, I think that that's on purpose, kind of break the ice, man, break some of that tension in the game. But, like, yeah, like, they went off. First of all, the fact that the game, it feels like it should have ended at, like, 3 different points where you're like, okay, I got here. This should be the end of the game. It's like, no, we keep pressing on. We keep pressing on. We keep pressing on. Brilliant. You know what I'm saying? So by the time you actually get to the end of the game, or, you know what I'm saying, what most people would consider the end of the game or whatever, it's like, yo, yeah, he done this. He done it. Like, now I'm waiting for Death Stranding 3 now. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't waiting for Expedition 34. Okay. Like,
okay. All right.
They ain't going to be able to add too much more onto that. Now, I think that where that game shines is that it was a sleeper. I wasn't expecting that game to be as good as it was, but it did have some glaring faults. And I mean, this ain't the crap on Expedition 33 pod, but I'm saying, like, for me, when I played it, once they opened it up into an open world game, I lost complete interest. It was like, okay, you open this up. There's no direction in the game now. I could just go fight old Croissant, but I don't want to do that. Or, like, I ain't really strong enough to do that. And it's like, man, these other fights feel pointless. The boss battle started to feel repetitive after a while. Like, it's only so many times I can get to, you know, phase 2 of the boss fight where it's like, oh my God, okay. You know what I mean? Like, you can't keep doing this to me. Like, all right. Okay. And like I said, it's a great game. We didn't expect it, but I knew what Death Stranding 2 was going to be, and it delivered. How often do you get what you expecting out of a game these days, man? It's not a buggy mess when it come out. It's not a huge letdown. It's like, no, they delivered what the game was supposed to be and more. It exceeded expectations, and it already had high expectations. Brilliant.
Okay.
Let's go.
Brilliant game. Okay. What about you, Jay? Your game of the year? Where you at with it, man?
No, I mean, it's a close number 2 to to Expedition 33. I
Mhm.
think as a medium, games are stories, right? And they're art form. And I just think that Kojima played it safe and gave us the story that we expected for Death Stranding 2. There
Mhm.
wasn't really much new there. Like I say, I just think it's a refinement of Death Stranding 1. But I think
Mhm.
from a story aspect and an emotional aspect, I think less is more in this situation. And I think Expedition 33 was less as far as context. I mean, not context, but content. But it
Mhm.
was more as far as the impact, the emotional impact that it had on the player, I would say.
Yeah,
So
I
that's why
got
I
you.
give it the edge over like Death Stranding 2, which
Mhm.
is a technical masterpiece. Like,
Mhm.
technically, how it's built, like, Expedition can't hold a candle to it.
Right, right.
But
I agree
if
with
we're
that.
going like story and just what a games mean to us, it's Expedition 33.
Yeah. I mean, that was my basis on it as well. I love Death Stranding too. I had a great time with it. But if I had to pick, it definitely comes a close second to Expedition 33. And the fact that the story with Death Stranding 2 was like connection. Like, as much as I was into it, like, to me, it seemed like the internet is this beautiful tool that we love and use as convenience and is for everything. But it's nothing like having human interaction, reaching out, touching the people you love, which is a large part of it. You both notice I don't really get down with social media like I used to. I got rid of Instagram a long time ago because it made me a lazy friend, a lazy family member, where I would look at people's lives through the lens of Instagram and not really know what's going on. And I think that's, in my opinion, that's what Kojima was trying to establish. Like, there's nothing like human interaction. And I think that
Mm-hmm.
that's was what he tried to drill home. On the other side of it, Expedition 33 was like, how do you deal with grief? And it was like, it hit me to the core. Like, dang, how would I really establish this? Like, how would I really like if it was me in that game and kind of understand, like, my wife is dealing with grief in a total different way, and as the dad I kind of related to Renoir. Like, okay, we got to get through it, we got to push on. And I don't necessarily know if that's the right way of dealing with it either. So that story hit me a little bit deeper. I think the to answer, like I said, to answer the question, Death Stranding 2 would be my close second, but Expedition 33 was still, to your point, Kev. I don't think it even close with the the score. Listen, the music in Expedition 33, man, the soundtrack, I still listen to it. I still listen to that soundtrack, and I'm like, this is phenomenal music. Now, I will
Very
say,
MIDI.
Death Stranding 2's music, it hit a little different because the things you were going through at the time in the game, it would just come on at the perfect time. I agree with you on that, and that's where I think Kojima gets it right with the music in that aspect. And to Jay's point, the technical side of it was like, I said it to you both a couple times while we were playing it and texting each other through it. Like, I don't understand why we can't get a game like this from PlayStation in the past, from any other developers. You guys should just throw your dev systems away, because of why Kojima can just deliver this. Just technically looks, I couldn't, at the end of the game when it showed the rolling screens, I didn't know if it was a real life or it was the game. I still don't know.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know, but yeah, that's what I would say with that. But hold on, so what was your? I'll start with you, Kev. What was your favorite moment of the game?
Favorite moment of the game? Oh
Mm-hmm.
man, that's tough, man. Like, I don't know that I would have just one that I can nail down. It's the game itself. Like, I mean, just kind of pushing through, because there's
Mm-hmm.
so many twists and turns, the big reveals or whatever. Like, I mean, when Higgs finally comes back out or whatever, the one that I would say was a little bit downplayed from what we saw in the trailers was the Neil guy. Neil didn't play as
Okay.
big a role in the game as kind of the trailers made it out to be. But
Uh-huh.
everything else, it was like, man, the callbacks to the old games, you know what I'm saying? The Metal Gears and Death Stranding 1 and all that kind of stuff, all those kind of Easter eggs that they put in the game, man,
Mm-hmm.
hitting all those points or whatever, like finally figuring out what was going on with Lou, and then figuring out, tomorrow's story, and adding in all those characters and just kind of building out that world, what was going on. And I can't nail down one particular moment.
Okay.
The weirdest moment, of the part that probably made me laugh the most, is when you're having that that rock battle at the end. It was like, only Kojima. You have a guitar battle right in the middle of the game, or right at the end of the game. That's kind of
Mm-hmm.
fire. But I don't know, I had a favorite part of the game, man. Like, the whole game was just fire. Like, I couldn't put it down. Honestly, the
Okay.
best part to me was playing, holding my kid and watching,
Yeah.
having him watch while I played the game. Like, that was amazing. You
Favorite
know what
part.
I mean?
Okay, gotcha. What about you, Jay? What was your favorite part of the game? Or favorite moment?
Um, and this is why Death Stranding 2 would probably be runner up in Game of the Year.
Mhm.
And I'll tell you why. So, my favorite part of the game is when you have to go rescue Tomorrow, right? And
Mhm.
it's like you come out, you hear Wood Kids, to the Wilder, and it's like you built up all this stuff, and you got to go back to the phase gate, and
Mhm.
then go to Mexico to rescue Tomorrow. So I think that
Mhm.
was my favorite part, but it also harkens back to Death Stranding 1, where same point in the game, you got to travel across the map, no tools, no nothing, and rescue Lou. So it's
Mhm.
like I've seen this before. It's
Mhm.
just different. It's just
Yeah,
different person I'm going to rescue. But I would
gotcha.
say that's my favorite part. 'Cause it's like, all right, now I gotta go get my girl,
Yeah,
and
Yeah.
then we
yeah. So
just hang out.
and as you both know, I didn't play Death Stranding 1, so it hit a little different for me.
Mhm.
So having that go across the map after reading the story and kind of watching reviewers talk about Death Stranding 1, I kind of knew that at some point this was going to happen. So I was kind of prepared for it. I think I said it during the podcast. Like the only thing I will say I was upset about was that I didn't build out the roads as much as I should have, because it was a slog going across
Yeah,
the map
yeah.
to get to it. If I had the roads built out, it'd been a little different track for me. Nonetheless, it was still very fun to do. But for me is when Tomorrow and what's my girl Fragile was on the little unicycle, and they came to come save Sam from the red dudes, man, when Higgs was fighting him. Like
Mhm.
that
Yeah.
was absolute
Mhm.
cinema to me. That's when I
Yeah,
there was a couple times I sent you both a text message like absolute cinema. That was
yeah.
one of them. That was probably my favorite moment. And then also to piggyback on to finish that fight, it was when Rainey came out and put the rain down to heal him, because he was in that everlasting
Constant
loop
cycle.
when Higgs
Yeah.
Higgs kept burning him up. But at that point is when I started piecing it together, like who is Tomorrow? And I think it was like the worst kept secret of people who follow the Death Stranding lore as people, because I mean I don't know about you guys, but I was surprised to find out that Lou, was Tomorrow. I
I
was
was
shocked by
surprised.
that. You were surprised
Yeah.
too? Okay. But I think the more surprising to me though, kind of piggyback on surprises, was the fact that Lou, the baby Lou, was actually not in the pod the whole time. Because I mean, it's
Mhm.
like again, it ties back to the story with Expedition 33 with how do you process grief, and like Sam didn't process it. He was just still, which I do call smoke for Doll Man. He should have told me as a real one. He should have told me, "Hey man, you carrying
I
around
mean,
this pod? I'm shaking it and everything." Go ahead,
well,
Jay.
they did tell him that it was.
A
I
couple
think
times.
Dogman told him it's the remnants, like the
Mhm.
chiral remnants of Lou. It
Uh-huh.
didn't say it was. They didn't say it was. They didn't say Lou was
They said the pot
dead
was
per
empty.
se.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, you gotta listen,
Yeah.
man. Them Kojima lore, you be dropping it.
See,
Yeah.
I knew something was up when Higgs asked him, "Is like, man, what's he doing carrying around that coffin?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
was
He
like,
did say
"Oh,
that.
okay, yeah, something's going on here." You
Yeah.
know,
hmm
and another big one. So what you were talking about right there about when Higgs was burning him or whatever, and then like you pressing circle trying to fight through it or whatever, and you keep on
Mhm.
having to repatriate and all that. That was another callback to what Metal Gear
Metal
Solid
Gear just.
1, where you're walking
It,
through or is it 2 where you're walking
it's
through the
five.
microwave? No,
Five.
is it 5 where you're walking through the microwave?
He's crawling through the
Yeah, he's
microwave
calling through
area,
the microwave. Yeah,
and
it's like, yeah. So it's like, for me, it's like, yeah,
no,
that
no,
hits
sorry, it's
different.
four. Four.
4.
It's
Yeah,
four.
old snake. Yep, you get old
Yeah.
snake. You crawling through the
Yep.
microwave. I think you have to do something similar in 2 though. But
Mhm.
yeah, it's like, yo, another Kojima callback where it's like, yo, here you're playing the game or whatever, and you think that you're fighting through, but it's like, really, you're just playing through a cutscene. It's like, man, all of this has to happen. Like, there's nothing else you can do. During those scenes, I'm sitting there, I'm trying to like float around, see if there's something else I need to do before I repatriate and all that. Like, do I need to
Yeah, me
figure something
too.
out? Because I mean,
Yeah.
the games have had, you know what I'm saying, those sort of kind of tricky tactics in there in the past, but it was like, nah, you just got to play through this, man. Let it play out and see what's going to happen. And that was the beautiful part of the game, where it was like, yo, sometimes there's just nothing you can do. All you
Mhm.
got to do, all you can do is just let it play out. Like when Luke kept appearing at the end, when you're in your apartment or whatever, and you just keep seeing her ghost, just the baby's ghost popping up or
Mhm.
whatever, and then you figure out that, you know what I'm saying, the apartment don't look nothing like how you remember it. It was all tore up or whatever. You're just trying to find that picture with Amelie and all that. Like, yo,
Mhm.
yeah,
Mhm.
it's fire.
But
Yeah.
let me ask you this: Is it a callback, or is he running out of ideas and he's just rehashing the same idea?
I mean, it was executed in a different way, so I'm gonna still land on it as a callback. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Because I mean, for a player like in Nadir's shoes, you haven't played any of the Hideo games in the past or whatever. It's like, yo, he's not seen this before. But for me and you,
Yeah.
it was, you know what I'm saying, familiar but new. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, yeah, you know, I knew I had seen this before, but again, it was a different approach and it was also a different outcome. It was just like, yo, I can see where you might say like, hey, you just run out of ideas, but it's like, nah, I mean, you was meant to feel that pain. Just like you were meant to feel that pain walking through the mountains. You like when you text us, you like, man, I'm getting tired of delivering these packages. I'm like, you supposed to be tired of delivering these packages. That's how Sam is out there feeling, man. You slog like I remember I'm walking through there, you can't see nothing. It's a whiteout, middle of the night. You climbing a mountain, and I mean, you just sitting there, you like, man, what am I supposed to do in this game right now? And then it kind of hit you like, yo, you're supposed to feel this helpless. You're supposed to feel this pain playing this game. Like, yo, the fact that it made you feel anything, pure cinema. Let's go.
Yeah, I definitely think it was callbacks because at one point I think even because I love when they break the fourth wall in the game. When they say it's kind of like the Phantom Pain, he looks in the camera, goes, gives you a thumbs up. It's like, okay, I get what they're doing. And then with Nirvana, those callbacks to Metal Gear Solid, when he threw the bandana on, it was like to mimic Solid Snake. I'm like, okay, I get what he's doing. So I don't think it was like he was rehashing, at least my opinion. I don't think he's rehashing it. Okay, so I'll start with you, Kev. What was your least favorite moment or aspect of the game? Your least favorite? It sounds like you have any, but I'm gonna ask.
Least favorite. I can't think of anything off top. I mean, if I had to just get real nitpicky, sometimes the controls, like especially early on in the game, like it can be hard to kind of get your rhythm down just because there's so much going on all the time. You have to manage so much. It takes a long time to kind of get your rhythm back in that game. And especially like if you're not used to it, I can see where a lot of people would just check out. Like seeing all those markers on the map and like
it is kind of
like all those heat signatures and then like the layout changes completely. If I'm coming into this, you know what I'm saying, blind or I really think about like how I got into playing Kojima games as a kid. Like, yo, if I'm 10 years old, I don't know if I'm keeping up with that. Like, yo, this is way too much. Like the overlay here is a lot. I don't really know what's going on. The game don't really hold your hand like that first 5 hours, though they kick you off into the action. They don't do a great job of explaining everything or every every tool or method that you have anything in there. And they keep they're like, hey, refer to the corpus. I didn't think that the corpus was so all encompassing as they kind of made it out to be, where it's like, yo, if you just go back to this, it'll tell you everything you need to know. There's a couple times where I'm like, hold on, I need to know how I operate, you know what I'm saying, this particular mechanic. Ain't nothing in there. All right. You know what I mean? So like, I guess if I had to nitpick, I could say that might get a little bit frustrating, but as far as like the actual gameplay goes, like, nah, man, knocked it out the park.
Knocked it out the park. Okay. What about you, Jay? What is your least favorite moment or aspect of the game?
I think my least favorite moment is the final boss battle with Higgs.
Okay.
On top of that, I think we were either on top of that big BT or hand.
Yeah.
Why? Because I felt like that was Metal Gear Solid 4 when you're fighting on the big Rex. Like you guys, it's the same cinematic flow. You guys start off like hot and heavy, pause, like they fight and they're going at it. Then like it's the slow slog to the end, and I'm like, I don't like this. Like I've played this before. Like I've seen it. I've seen this before. Like you're just doing it with guitars instead of them giving each other injections of the serum or whatever. They're just using the guitars, and the guitars are breaking down. And they're still fighting. So when I saw that, I was like, I've been here before.
I thought the same thing, but I did to give a little pushback. I did think that they made a good point well before that. When Higgs goes back, he was like, "Man, listen, ain't gonna be no boss battle here. Like, hey, ain't gonna be no boss battle. You know what I mean? Like, so I think it was to make it look pointless. Like, you know, like this fight is not the point of the game or whatever. But I did think the same thing. I was like, man, we've been doing this a lot, man. You fight on top of a big mech at the end or whatever. You go to the slog or whatever. Now, the fact that we got to the guitar breakdown, hilarious. But yeah, I felt you.
I got you. For me, it was pacing. Like I just felt like I felt like the missions of like getting the more stars on the each of the, I don't call it portals, but like where you're doing the deliveries. I didn't feel like that was even needed at times. Now I will say I'm going to go back and finish them because the only one I did do was I kind of bumped into the pizza man and got to see his bunker at the bottom. If you saw that, so that one was one I just kind of kept doing. But it's like, okay, let me just randomly just do one of these missions to get a better rating. and it just didn't seem like it was important to do them. It was like the pacing to me was a little off in that, which I said on the podcast. Like I felt like I kind of like went through the game, but like I was like 46, 47 hours at the end of beating the game, and I just still felt like there was a lot I could do and a lot of meat on the bone, pause, which I'm going to go back and finish them.
Oh yeah.
But the pacing to me was like a little off. I just felt like I was kind of pushing through the game, even because I didn't know how many chapters were in. I didn't read ahead to see. I went into this game totally blind. I didn't want to know how many chapters were left. I just kind of was into it. But like when I started seeing the percentage sign on each chapter, I was like, okay, I'm kind of fighting through this. But there's a couple of lulls in the game. I think I've texted you guys both when I said that it was just, I don't know what delivering these packages mean. I just feel like I'm just kind of doing stuff. And to Kev's point, that's what was the basis of it. But I do think that the pacing to me was a little bit off. And like trying to figure out the story, I gave up trying to figure out the story. I didn't know what was going on. I knew the president, something was off with him. You know what I mean? And another thing I didn't like, that damn Magellan breaking down every week. Every time. Magellan, Sam, we can't come. I'm like, yo, if y'all don't fix this daggone Magellan, bro, you sacrifice an arm for this. Like, I'm getting real pissed off at them not getting the Magellan up and going.
I mean, I think that was almost like a DPS check. And then it's like, all right, so you're supposed to be at this point during the game. You're supposed to have these items, these weapons, these structures built. All right, go to work. Use that stuff.
Yeah. No doubt. That's why
Magellan's a cheat code.
Oh yeah, it is. It is. I mean, because it's just a travel point. Because I think until it got built all the way up, I kind of was using it like that was the fast travel system in the game, you know. And I didn't figure it out. Like again, to Kev's point, the game doesn't do a good job of hand holding you at all. So I didn't even figure out you could do those jumps to other parts of the map until you had to leave everything in your locker and all that stuff. I didn't figure that out. So maybe like I was 70% done with the game at that point. I can really do this. But yeah, the pacing is what I would say. If I had to fix something, I would say the pacing was what I would say.
I'm gonna offer you a little pushback on that too. Like, yo, I think that we low key messed up like trying to power through the game. Like that was the hardest part for me. Was like trying to find that balance of like, hey, I'm trying to finish this game so that we can talk about it, but also like I also want to immerse myself in this game and like really play it out and just let it go. Because there was a lot of times where I was just having fun, like just building up the structures, building out the monorail, building out the roads, and like collecting the supplies, responding to the request to there's an encampment here, go clear it out. Like responding to those requests, getting the whatever the perks or the rewards, the likes was for doing that. Like there was a lot of times where I was just doing that. I wasn't. I didn't want to advance the story. A lot of times. I felt like kind of on the opposite spectrum of what you're saying there is like, I felt like them constantly telling me like, hey, listen, this is the next important mission or whatever. That kind of made me feel like I was rushing through the game where it's like, yo, I don't really want to rush through the game. I want to do some of these standard orders. I want to do some of these sub orders. I just want to just play the game and explore and kind of roam through and stumble across things because that like you were talking about, the guy with the pizza shop or whatever, like, yo, that was a cold cutscene where it's just like, yo, you make a delivery that you don't expect, the door opens, and the next thing you know, like, what I'm saying, they doing what is it, dojitsu or something like that, like, you in there fighting the man over pizzas and all that, like, yo, that's fire, like, you know, just random cutscenes. Does it add anything to the game? Absolutely not. But like, that's the beauty of it. I wonder how much more of that is out there. But there, like I said, every time you finish the mission, it was like, yo, Sam. Charlie, get on the horn with you. Yo, Sam. There's something dire going on. I need you to get to it right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, it makes you feel like you can't really do the rest.
Exactly. So how did you end up with the pacing? Because to me, that's what it seemed like. I had to do these missions to get them out the way. Like
I trust Charlie. I knew Charlie was up to no good. So after a while, I just started ignoring Charlie. Whatever he was talking about, I was like, man, listen, whatever's going on out there, man, it's just going to have to happen. And I just started doing my own thing. And then also, I guess another nitpicky thing, they really needed to explain that entrusting cargo to other porters. Like, yo, if people understood the way that actually worked and the benefit to it, I think that a lot of people would have played that game a lot differently. So it's like, yo, listen, every time you pick up a piece of lost cargo, you don't need to go deliver it yourself, man. Just show up to a post, let them send it.
I stumbled across that. Like, that was another thing about it. Like, I don't think if I didn't stumble across that part, then I wouldn't. I think I would have had a different view of the game. Because if I had to deliver every package to every porter to get credit for it, I'm like, okay, I don't know if I like this. You know what I'm saying? But I entrusted it to him, and I'm like, I'm gonna just entrust him. I don't know what this means, but because it said the only thing I could entrust them was the things that I picked up. I'm like, okay, that must mean they can turn them in for me. I don't know. Powered the game off, came back later and said, oh, you get these likes for this. I'm like, okay, because it worked out the way I thought. So you're right. It doesn't explain that to you. So I don't know if that's. I mean, I gotta think that that's the the view of the game that Kojima wanted to point out is like kind of like you don't know what this means, but are you going? I just heard the word entrust. I'm like, okay, maybe this means what I think it means. From that, okay. So rating wise, Kev, it sounds like you're going to give it a perfect rating, but I want to know rating out of 0 to 100. What are you giving it, man?
Me, I'll probably give it probably 85.
85.
I'm giving 85. Yeah.
Okay.
I gotta ask, do you have any hundreds?
Do I have any hundreds? No, because I wouldn't say, because 100 would have to be, it'd have to be perfect graphics, perfect story, perfect everything for it to be 100.
Okay.
Claire Obscure, I wouldn't say is 100 either.
That's fair enough. That's fair. Yeah. I like that.
Okay. What about you, Kev?
Masterpiece, it's like absolute cinema and gaming. Like I'm not gonna scale rate it. I always think about games that leave a lasting impact on me as a player, and they're few and far between. But like this game made me like the first game that ever had that impact on me was Metal Gear Solid. That's why I'm a Kojima fan the way that I am. It's like that was the first game where I played it. I was like, yo, this just blew my mind. And there's only been a handful of games that I've ever done it. This was one of them. So boom. Masterpiece.
Gotcha. So you're not getting. So you're at 100. You're not giving it.
It's 100. Like, I mean, you can just stamp it. You know what I'm saying? Just stamp it. Play
it. Okay. I almost shared my screen and shared because Jay, we're right online. I give it 85 as well. Just for those reasons. Like I said, I highly enjoyed the game. I'm happy I played the game, and I told you both. Full transparency. I bought this game to crap on it. I really did. I had no intentions of liking it. I had no intentions of getting it. Like Kev has been talking about Metal or Kojima games since we met, you know, and he tried to get me to play Death Stranding 1, and I saw the BTs and I saw the scary. You guys both know I don't like scary games. I'm like, I'm not playing this. I'm not getting it, even though it was free. I may or may not have skipped over downloading it or adding it to my library, even though it was free. For that very reason, I don't like being scared. But for this one, I'm like, all right, I turned a new leaf. I beat Black Myth Wukong. I played a hard game, a Souls game to you, Jay, and I said I'm going to play this one to kind of like crap on it and also see how great it is because everybody was talking about it, so I got it. I'm highly thankful that I played it. I'm thankful that I fought through and finished it, and I'm even going back and finishing some of the ones I want to platinum it. I don't think I'm going to do that just because there's other things that are out. But I gave it 85 as well, but I'm glad I played it. So with our ratings being now solidified, what could they do to improve the rating? Kev, we can skip you because you gave it 100.
I want to know, do you have any hundreds?
No.
Okay. Well, then, yeah.
No, I don't have any hundreds. I don't. For me, I think it's hard to like give a game a perfect rate. Even with Death, Claire Obscure, I really enjoyed it, but it was like the story part of it. To your point earlier about once you do get to the, it opens up and it's an open world game. I had no idea what the hell to do. So I'm like, all right, what am I doing? I can go finish the game. I can do more to kind of get more lore, get more story, and I'm glad I did and built up those relationships in my camp. I know you didn't finish it, but
pushback. Like I didn't feel like the extra fights. They didn't feel like they added anything to the story. It was just kind of like I bumped into people I was out on the map. I had to fight them real quick, and like my characters leveled up, and I would expand the story at the campfires or whatever.
That's what I'll say is more important.
It wasn't the open world aspect of it. It literally. It felt like an incomplete game. It was like, all right, here's a couple more fights to level up a little bit further in case you're not at the level you need to be to beat Old Croissant. But like, it's just kind of here.
That's why I think you kind of, if you'd have kept going, because like when you go and fight Clea, the sister, and you get to go her storyline, it adds a lot to the story, and it kind of gives her perspective on, again, the different aspects of grief, how she dealt with it. And we got a small glimpse of it from the flashbacks when she was kind of the one that held the mantle to keep the fight going with her parents, because at this point she got both parents in the painting. She's pissed off. She has to keep going. She's pissed off at the brother for dying, for sacrificing himself for the sister, and then you're pissed off at the little sister because the brother sacrificed himself for you. So she is dealt with those feelings as well.
But yeah,
okay. But if you go to actually go to a part where you go against her story, her backstory, and then you get like the love of her life is in the game too. It's a whole thing with that too. So
see, that's what I'm saying. They should have pushed you towards that. Like, yo, if you're gonna have a linear game up to that point, like, don't wait until the final act and then be like, all right, it's open world now. Just do whatever you want. It's like, yo, no. Keep directing this game if you want me to actually experience, because I guess I wouldn't have had to experience those things. I could have fought Old Croissant right there. I'm pretty sure I could have beat Old Croissant. I think I was just playing on story mode. Like, he wasn't that difficult. I fought him one time. I was like, all right, I don't want to really play this no more. And I just haven't gone back to it. But you know what I'm saying? Like, I could technically skip all that if I wanted to. Like, I never have to see that story.
Gotcha. Okay. So Jay, what about you though? What could they have done? What could this game, Kojima, could have done to make this game higher in your opinion?
I mean, not take beats from his old games. I feel like his games follow the same pattern. I feel like with the Metal Gear Solid games, they start off fast, have a lull in the middle, and then it starts to ramp up, and then you get like a cutscene dump and a lore dump like at the end to summarize the game. I don't think he could have done anything different that would make me give it a higher score. I mean, I just know what I'm going to get from Kojima. Like, you're going to get a great game, great graphics, great story. Yeah, I mean, I don't think he could have done anything different to give it a higher score, I don't think.
Gotcha. I'm gonna praise it first. The attention to detail, the things where like you get frostbit and you see Sam's hands like literally frostbit, and then he gets sunburned. You can see his body sunburned. Like taking showers or more. I never thought a game would make me as a physical person want to go take a damn shower, and it did, because I'm like, maybe I need to take a shower. You know, like I wanted, because I saw how Sam was refreshed, so I did it. But I will say, you guys are the Kojima fans, and you guys have played a lot of the games in the past. I didn't. So like, but one thing I did read was that Kojima boss fights was always a thing. And that's what had me kind of like definitely ready for this game. Like, man, it's going to be some epic boss fights. And I think it kind of let up on that. I didn't have one boss fight in the game where I just was like, this was epic. This was something where I'm like, all right, I'm drained. Or like, I felt like did I die a couple times? Yeah. I never skipped it or did the part where I wish like pretend you won. I didn't have those. Like even the part at the end where you're going to the plate to go back to Mexico and you have the big BT crab that comes down. And then when you get to Mexico and you're going to go to the last to your camp and you fight the big, I forget what that was. I think it was like something in the sky. I can't remember. But those two fights was like, they were okay, but it was really just a lot of the same. Just get behind, throw a blood grenade, shoot it, use the guitar thing they gave you. But it wasn't that big epic boss fight that I was looking forward to. I didn't like the last fight with the guitars. I didn't like that at all. I thought it was just like, this is one of those weird things that Kojima kind of threw in. I accepted the dancing at the end with Die Hard Man. I accepted that at first. I was like, man, what is he doing? I didn't like that at first. But when Kev, again, to your point, you brought up as far as with Severance, I'm like, okay, I'll allow it. This is okay. But I will say though, like just an epic boss fight in a game, I don't know. Like I felt like I wanted more from the boss fights. And I think there's two optional boss fights you can have. I've read some of the YouTube video or saw some of the YouTube videos that you can actually do. So I might go back and do those. But I think it was missing that. I think if it had more of that, those epic boss fights I always read about Kojima having in his games, I think I would rate it a little bit higher.
See, I think that was the point.
I think it was epic though. I mean, running up the beach, fighting, and then going on that big BT to battle. I think that was epic. But I just saw
the last one.
Though.
I think he's talking more so in terms of like Black Myth Wukong, where it's like, I wanted this to be really difficult and like, you know what I mean? Like really like it's, but I think that honestly, I think the game was kind of trying to spit in the face of that. Like, listen, we're not going to do that. Like cinematically, we'll make this cinematically appealing or whatever. But the fact that you could just be like, pretend you won this fight or whatever. Like that kind of tell you how he felt about these boss fights. Like, who cares? Like, I'm trying to tell a story here. Like, I don't care about these boss fights. And that to me, that was the whole point. It was like, listen, it's here, but like, I'm not trying to challenge you in that way.
Yes.
They're just here. They look good or whatever, but that's not what this game is about. And like, kind of keeping that in mind, it's like, all right, cool. You know what I mean? Whatever. Because there was enough there. Like, I was 60 hours in. When you told me, like, oh man, you still got a good way to go. I'm like, ain't no way. Ain't no way.
You did have a good ways to go, right?
I mean, I had like another 7 hours to go. So yeah,
that's a lot.
That is a lot. I was like, I'm like 60 hours in. I still got a good ways to go. Ain't no way. Come on now. But I think that was more so the point.
Gotcha. Okay. So final question: will there be a Death Stranding 3?
No,
I don't think so either.
I think we definitely gonna get it. I think the IP keeps on going, especially if they set it up with tomorrow at the end. It's like, they got a new character. Let's go.
Well, the only reason I say I don't know if it'll be Kojima that'll do it, because he already has two. He already has 2 projects scheduled out, and if he keeps the trajectory going like he does, which is every 5 years, he'll be 70 by the time that we can even potentially have a Death Stranding 3. That's the only reason why I say. Now, I will say, with all the fanfare and all the hype, like myself, people who never played a Death Stranding game in the past who came in and played, there was a lot of people like me who did. So maybe this one jumps or leapfrogs one of the other titles that he currently had on his ledger. But I don't know. That's the only reason why I'll say I don't know if Death Stranding 3. I would love to have it, but I didn't know if I don't know if we'll get it though.
Yeah, I mean those other games. Well, that one game, I don't know what that the AI game or whatever with the faces. I don't know what that's going to be like. It kind of looks like it's pretty close to done, so I can still see it. I think that they probably have already been working on it, and for as large as Death Stranding 2 felt, it's like, yo, they probably already wrote a lot of that story. Like they probably already have an idea of that runway, that roadmap for what Death Stranding 3 could be. So, and the fact that the cutscene we got, tomorrow out there, like, yeah, let's do it.
He has that. He has that other game too called Physic or something like that, which is going to be the next Metal Gear Solid type game. So I don't. He doesn't have all that time. You know what I mean? I think he said he would. There's enough lore to pass it on to a new, not developer, but new person to lead the project for Death Stranding 3 if they wanted to. But he's got so much stuff going on, like he's not going to be able to do it 3.
Okay,
I can see that.
Okay.
I'd be okay with that. Like, as long as they don't go like the Revengeance route or whatever, like I'm cool with what I'm saying? I'm cool with him leaving the story in good hands. And especially if it's like, all right, man, we ended Sam's story, we're branching off, and you know what I mean, this is going to be somebody else's story, both character wise and as far as like the production team goes. Like, I'm cool with that. That's fine.
Yeah. And this is Kojima we're talking about here. He may mess around and do the Tomorrow Story as like a mini series and be something we watch. We're not against that because he has a studio, so that might be something that might can happen too.
True.
Yeah. Okay. Well, look, I wanted to get us together to talk through it. I knew Kev was going to enjoy it. We all three enjoyed it. I think we're just different area. Nobody crapped on it. I wanted to. Like, I'm not going to lie to you, but it was cool. But shoot, let's get up out of here, man. Unless y'all got anything else. You got anything else, Kev?
Nah, I'm gonna finish Expedition 33 still though.
Okay,
still, I'm gonna still finish.
You watched the ending. You watched
fine.
YouTube.
Yeah, no, it's cool. It's cool.
All right, well, let's get out of here. Yo, beautiful people. This is Nadir.
It's Kev.
Jay.
Yo, we are Games Music Life. This was the spoiler cast of Death Stranding 2. Listen, get in the comments. Anyone that get in here and you want to give it 100 like Kev, agree. If you want to crap on it, let me know. I would love to hear those end of the spectrum too. Just know that Kev's going to flame you in the comments stuff. But let's get out of here. Drink more water, people. Peace.
Take care.